everyone, and welcome back to Chaos Creations. This is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to do some painting while I have a chat with you. It is blisteringly hot, 33 degrees today, and getting hotter and hotter over the week. It does feel a lot hotter, but, paint should dry very quickly, and I want to talk to you at the same time. So, if you see me sort of shaking bits and pieces in the background, my paints and such, don't be surprised, and a bit of a wobbling going on. Okay. Now, I have realised that every time I talk and so forth, the camera wobbles around whenever I'm doing something. Once maybe Friday, I'm going to get a new setup with a attachment which will go away from the table, so I can shake this table as much as I like. Camera ain't going to move. But until then, please bear with me. So, let's begin. Now, before I do anything, I am doing some very high-end detailed terrain. Here you can see the Scorpion King, and it has another little person up here. This is part one. It'll do the Scorpion King on the other side and so forth. A bit like a sort of oddly shaped pyramid type thing, and that'll go on the board. Part of me wants to paint it all white and have this bit like big gold and have all this gold and such, but I don't know, maybe the black pyramid that Nagash had and so forth, maybe do it all black and then just have all this and the hieroglyphics maybe in red and this in gold and something. I don't know. I'll have a bit of a think about it. But that's what I'm printing out today. So I'm just printing out the top part. I'll glue that down and then I'll print the bottom again and the top again. And then we stick them side by side, back to back, sorry. And away we go. So while I'm just sitting here, painting up some of my terrain. Now, before I go any further, with my terrain at the moment, these are the spaces that I'm using. So I'm using a dodgy old brush that I've had for donkey's years just to, apply dry brushes and so forth. And if you know my videos, you know the sort of theme I'm going for. It's sort of like a really sandy sort of look. It's that sort of look, so it's brown, and it's going to get a little bit of a mustardy sort of colour over it, and away we go. And because it's so blisteringly hot today, these should, by the time I finish the last one, the first one should be dry, if not dry already. So that's just how I'm doing stuff. Now, sorry, I have to keep listening for the door. I've got a package to arrive, so I thought that was the door then, but it's not. It's just a pussycat meandering around. I want to apologise in some respects to everyone. Look, I get a lot of people talking in a lot of the groups I'm in, and some of them, like I said, I suspect they're GW staff in England, not like a local GW store, but they are actually GW staff. They've told me stuff in the past that has been very, very true. And sometimes they can tell me complete and utter bullshit, and I think they do that on purpose, just so, they don't get caught out, and I think they're either doing it for an ego trip, or they're doing it because they are being told by their bosses to do so. Hey, Phil, this week, you can release this and this, cost it and so forth. So, in regards to Legions Imperialis, I was told this, that, and the other, and of which I don't think any of it came true, to be honest with you. I had my own sort of ideas of when it was going to come out, but, everything I said just didn't happen. And that's partly me being gullible and silly and just, believing everything that, these people have been telling me, which is, I assume, what they wanted. Now, as for Legions Imperialis, it was interesting. When on the Saturday, everything I said was absolutely true. I couldn't find it. I couldn't go to different terrain, different areas around the world. Nothing. Wake up Sunday morning, and it's all there, and I can move around again, and I can go. Oh damn! Now, part of me thinks that I would like to think that they went. Oh look, Mr. Chaos has caught us out, and we better rectify this right away. But it's just a coincidence. That's all it is. If GW were watching me, I would know about it, I'm sure, because, I give credit where credit is due, and, I really don't, pull punches. I guess it's the Gen Z in me, if it quacks like a duck and talks like a duck, it's a duck. So if GW does some great stuff, I'm there going, oh, this is fantastic. Just as much as, like I said, the fact that I couldn't change the region and there was nothing on the web page. Now, that said, the web page does have like a world map, and it has Australia, England, and America coming soon. I think it says November 25. But is that coming soon to those regions? Does that mean that America didn't get any, England didn't get any, and Europe and Australia didn't get it? It doesn't really make much sense to me. It's just this map. Australia, Europe, America, England coming November 27 or something, I think it said. And I'm like, what is this supposed to mean? I rang up one of my GW places this morning. Well, I rang up two, actually. I spoke to different people, and both of them told me different stories. One said, look, I got to be honest with you, mate, we don't know. We honestly have no clue at all. None. People are saying to us, on the grapevine, it's going to be a couple of weeks. Some people are saying it's going to be the new year. We honestly have no official information. And then I rang up another store, and he's like, oh, yeah, man, look, don't worry. You'll have it in a week or so. It's all going to be good. It's all fine. Don't worry about it. It's all great. That person, I trust about as much as I can throw him. Don't get me wrong, he's a nice enough guy, but, I just... And look, it's fine. I mean, we both rubbed each other up the wrong way before in the past, and, it's not a problem, but I always like to, ask two different stores, because, if you get two different questions, then, you're even more worried. So the Tomb King's dragon, it looks huge. I mean, I don't think the photos do it justice. It looks absolutely, it must be about yay big. It must be, easily I would say 50, 60 centimeters long, at least. I don't think it's going to be high, but it's going to be long. And it has that nice crocodile look about it, which is quite nice. And that sort of goes in with, Egyptian mythology, because they used to worship hippopotamuses, crocodiles, and so forth. So that's quite good. I like the little pussycat. I think everybody likes the little pussycat. Who was it? Louise Studgens, her name is, I think. I can never pronounce her last name. Everyone just calls her Suds. She had a post up about the dragon going, oh, wow, oh, it's great. And I went, oh, yes. And the pussycat, let's not forget about the pussycat. And then about 20 seconds later, she posts a photo of the pussycat going, all right, at least we're on the same page here. So I think that pussycat is going to get a lot of love. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of copies of that pussycat turning up. My only concern now is going to be price. Look, the dragon is stunning. It is absolutely insanely huge. It is going to be a beautiful countertop for any army with Tomb Kings. And it has two different variations. I mean, I do like the Lich Priestess, but I particularly like the sand with the buzzard coming out. I think that is particularly good. So, I'll normally do it as the general. But, the Lich Priest, if I can magnetize it, I hate magnetizing. I hate magnetizing with a passion. So, and because I suck at it, that's why I hate it so much. I have tried many times, but me and magnets just don't go down very well. So the other thing I wanted to mention was the Tomb King's guards that you can see in the actual release for the dragon. I thought these were brand spanking new models. They're not. They've actually been around for a while, and this is what shocked the bejesus out of me. I thought I was the Lich Master when it came to Tomb Kings. I thought I had seen it all. I thought I'd seen everything, but no. These models have actually been around for quite some time. So, I would like to apologize to anybody who I said that they were brand new miniatures by the looks of it, because I was very wrong there. And then it leads me to Sunday night when I saw the new releases coming up, and I'm like, what the hell? So, we've got lots of Necron releases. We've got a couple of, we've got the Codex coming out. We've got a couple of new characters and so forth. And also, Adeptus Mechanicus is coming out, and they get a guy in stilts. Have they really, really lost that, imagination when it comes to miniatures and lore? Look, don't get me wrong. I, in some respects, they're doing an amazing job. They really are. I mean, Tomb King's, zombie dragon or, undead crocodile, whatever you want to call it, it looks amazing. But they could do so much with Adeptus Titanicus. I mean, all right, so I'm going to take a page out of another game, which, let's face it, GW has no problem doing, called Rifts. And they have a thing in there called juicers. And juicers are people that like literally juice themselves up on steroids and drugs and combat drugs, so they're fast and they're strong and they're deadly, but they don't live very long. They only live for like 15 years or 25 years, something like that. They live a very short amount of time. So why, instead of having a guy on stilts, well, Matt Brown there, well, instead of having a guy on stilts, how about we have like their version of juicers? We have, you know, maybe some guys that have, you know, the Adeptus Mechanicus, for one reason or another, have the bodies have rejected the machine god. So what they do is they just pump them full of combat drugs, and they have really hardcore stats. So they would have like a huge movement, a massive, you know, actually no, what you could do is you could have different types of drugs. So you could have your hardcore unit of combat wombats, you know, for want of a bit of a word. So they move fast, they've got a really high weapon skill, and, you know, one wound, normal toughness, high initiative, and boom, 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 hand-to-hand combat only, boom, away they go. And then you could have another group which are like, you know, the Jitterers or something, and these guys are hyped up on stimulants and so forth, and sit back with these like, you know, massive plumes of smoke where they're breathing in the toxic fumes, and, you know, they move really slow, a movement of one. But, you know, they're sitting there with sniper rifles, you know, and once again, this, that, and the other. And if you want to even it out, make it the fact that every time they do a combat action. So if they fire a gun or they, you know, attack in hand-to-hand combat, whatever, you roll a d6. And on a natural roll of 6, boom, sorry, the juicer has expired because of, you know, the drugs in his system have just overtaken him. And that sort of evens it out a little bit. So, you know, a guy on stilts, and that's it. That's just Inspector Gadget with a gun. You know, come on, Games Workshop, you know. Are they still Games Workshop, or are they now just Warhammer? I don't know. But either way, you can do so much more than just a guy on stilts. It just befuddles me. Anyway, so if you have any questions, just ask, like, subscribe, pass it on to your friends. Excuse me for a second. I just need to have a drink of water. Like I said, it is very warm here in Australia. Well, in Perth anyway. And I want to get as much done. So my goal for this week, we're getting to like 37s and 40s and so forth. I want to get most of this table cleared, have all the plastic done, all the plastic miniatures, at least glued down. Not painted, but at least glued down. That way I can then just go, right, until January, February, all I need to do is just paint up these skeletons. The bases are painted, and all I need to do then is just, you know, take my time over the Christmas break and just paint them up. Maybe like do a couple of skeletons a day or something, you know. Don't get me wrong, I've got a lot of skeletons down there, a lot of skeletons. And I still hold true to my theory that what Games Workshop, well, Warhammer, whatever you want to call it, I'll call it Games Workshop, screw it, will do is they will bring out all the normal undead with a couple of, or all characters for all of the armies, brand spanking new, and maybe one or two rank and file, and then that'll be it. And then what we'll see is a year or two down the track, hey, look here, we've got new rank and file for everything. And a brand new army book, by the way, that is far more detailed and far better, and updated rules. I don't think we'll see any army boxes per se after the initial release, but I think everyone will get at least one box set versus. That way, you know, they spread the love around. They can, you know, ramp up the price to unbelievable levels, and everyone can't come in. Because, I mean, what they're going to do is they'll say is, oh, look, you know, how is it the fact that, you know, Bretonia and Tomb King's got a battle box, and, you know, Empire and Orcs got a battle box, but where's our battle box for Dwarves and, you know, Chaos? So I think everyone will get a Versus box set. That way they spread it out, they can pay an exuberant price. And here we go with the last part of what I wanted to talk to you about, and that is money. Realistically speaking, that dragon is going to be like, I don't know, $500 Australian, I think. Oh, $460, something like that. Whoa! I've gone out of focus. What's going on? About $460, I'd say, for that dragon, or maybe I'm being a bit too nasty there, maybe about $380 or something. It's not going to be cheap, not at all. And what we'll find is the big box set versus Bretonnian and so forth, that will once again be around about $500 Australian. Now, please note, these are in Aussie dingo dollars. So I have to now start saving, and it's not going to be easy. It really isn't. I assume that the box set, the box set is what most of us who are doing Tomb Kings will be going for. I mean, let's face it. If the box set comes with, 100 skeletons, a couple of chariots, and, 10 horsemen, there we go. That's a large portion of your army done, And then you just sell off the Bretonnians to friends or trade them for more undead. And that's what I'll do. I'll get the box set if it's possible. I mean, the web page is still dodgy as all hell to me. So if it's possible, I'll then go off and buy the Bretonnian undead box set. And then I'll find somebody local that wants to trade. And then I will, swap it over. Or if I can't, I'll just sell it off. I mean, I'd rather not sell stuff off. I'd rather trade it or give it away to people. I mean, I gave away a lot of Empire stuff about 3 years ago, which I'm kicking myself now, because the Empire stuff, the Griffin and so forth, would have been really nice to have for friends. And I don't ask friends for money. I just give them away as birthday and Christmas presents, because let's face it, I mean, if you're playing an Empire army and someone goes, "Here, have a Carl Franz and a dragon," you'd be like, hello. Okay, so I've got one more left, and then I've got a little bit of terrain over there, and then I'm done. There was something else I was going to talk about, but for the life of me, and that's a little bit of terrain that I'm just doing up. It's just like, barrels and so forth. It'll be a nice bit of terrain on the battlefield. If you have any questions, just ask. If you would like to subscribe, please do. I do have installed today some brand new editing software that I will be looking at more than likely over the next week or so. And, I would like to get to 1,000 subscribers. And I get a bit befuddled. I mean, I've got a mate of mine that all he does is he, just talks about different types of vegetables for the most part. And so he does vegetables. And he's got like 4,000 followers. And I'm like, how is it you're talking about vegetables, different types of vegetables from around the world, and you're not even going to these places, you're just talking about these vegetables. You've got 4,000 followers. So I would like to get up to at least 1,000 followers, if not more. I think I'm almost at 500. So yes, I've got some new software, and I'll have a look at it and see if we can, ramp up the quality of these videos a bit more for you all. Anyway, everyone have a great day. This is Chaos signing off. It is very hot. I've now finished everything that I'm doing. Oh no, I got a base there of 40 by 40. Now, before I forget, I am not going to be bothering with any more with base sizes. Okay, so I've got the 60 by 110 for the horses, and I'm, that fits comfortably on there. I'm not going to be in tournament games. I don't really care. If people want to do it, that's great, but to me, I'm just going to stick with what I got. 25 by 25 for rank and file. Horsies will stay on the 60s by 110s, and, anything else, well, so be it. It's an act of God. Everyone have a great day. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Any questions, just ask. I think I've repeated that a few times. And I shall do a Scorpion King video shortly, I'm sure. Chaos signing off. Bye-bye.